Hey Scorpios, welcome to Sage on This. This is going to be a brand new reading for you. Today we'll be discussing love, and we're just going to jump right into the reading and see what comes out for you. Okay, so what messages are here for the Scorpio collective regarding love? What messages are here for the Scorpio collective regarding love? Some of you may not even be focused on love as in loving someone else or relationships at this time. You may just be focused on loving yourself, focusing on yourself and getting your money. Yeah, so as I say that, the first card that came out was the card of stability and the card of authority. So the Four of Discs and the King of Swords. So I do feel right now that is your focus, and personally I can say that I really resonate with that. I think right now, and just for a large chunk of this year, it's really been about focusing on yourself, focusing on your money, your stability, going to the next level, leveling up in ways that are that have to do with your wealth, your streams of income, your assets, purchasing a home, purchasing a new vehicle, some major purchases that you are desiring to accomplish in your life soon or this year, and about preparing for that, because I feel you're manifesting a certain kind of life, that you've seen for yourself, that you see yourself living. You feel that you'll be most happy, and it does involve some planning. It does involve certain pieces to reach that end goal. And so I just feel right now your focus isn't necessarily solely on looking for a partner or searching for a relationship. I just get more so a sense of you building up yourself and realizing in the back of your mind and subconsciously that you will attract whatever it is that you need at the perfect time. So let's see what else comes out for you. Tell me more about love for Scorpio in June. What is Scorpio attracting in love in June? What is Scorpio attracting in love in June? Okay. So, even though you're not focused on a relationship or in a place mentally where you feel like you're going to take action and be more diligent in like dating and finding a relationship or finding someone, there does appear to be, like I said, in the process of you building your own kingdom and building your own confidence and sense of self-worth, that is going to invoke a lot of power in you, a lot of inner power, a lot of self acceptance, self love. And so, of course, when you build that up and you're harnessing that energy within your own self, you're going to emanate that energy. That energy is going to be surrounding you, and you basically become a lighthouse. And You shine the energy out into the universe, out into the world. Wherever you go, this energy is rotating around you. It's protecting you, it's reinforcing the ideas that you say to yourself, that you believe about yourself. And when someone is vibrating on the same level as that, when they are doing the same thing, this is how you attract someone that can be a partner or a soulmate or a best friend or your husband or wife. Okay, so we have here, we have the Queen of Cups, so we have intuition coming out here. Okay, and then we have our Two of Cups. Okay, and then we have our manifestation card, and then we have the Death card. Yes, so like I said, this is you manifesting this. And even though you're focused, like I said, on your security, your well-being, the material world, it doesn't mean that you've totally forgotten about love, relationships, soulmate, being with someone, falling in love, that whole thing. Um, it is in the back of your mind, and subconsciously you are manifesting this entire your vision. And in that vision, that ideal life that you see for yourself, you are with your life partner, you are with your soulmates, you are financially well, you are healthy. This is your ideal life. So you're manifesting all of it. Even though your focus right now seems to be, solely on the material world. There does appear to also be a transformation. There's some sort of transformation happening, and Scorpio is always in the midst of transformation. I did my own personal reading earlier, and I received the Death card, and so you received the Death card as well, and it's lining up over the stability. And so you could be forming new beliefs, new healthy mindsets and perspectives surrounded around money, your idea of self-worth, just concepts about money, like, do you have to work really hard to earn money? Are you worth receiving a lot of money for your gifts or your talents? Um, are you what are you telling yourself about money? When you spend money on yourself, are you happy about it? Are you grateful for having the means to be able to do so? Are you patting yourself on the back for your gifts and talents that have attracted the means to purchase whatever it is, and to be able to do things for yourself? Or are you thinking about, wow, I spent $500 on A, B, or C, and what if something happens and I'm not prepared for it? Or I spent this or that for my birthday, or just on a self-care day. That was too much. I probably should have just went to whatever store and just got myself something small. Like, be very careful about what you tell yourself, how you talk to yourself surrounding ideas about money, because it's a fine line between scarcity and, like, having a budget for yourself. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can lean right over into lack thoughts and thoughts of scarcity and I don't have, and being in a worried and anxiety filled mind state um, versus an empowered state where you're telling yourself, I always have everything that I need. I have everything that I need. So there's something about that is coming out. Also, this Four of Wands, a celebration. There's something here that is going to happen. It's going to be good news. This could be good news. This could be like the completion or finishing of something. And maybe that has to do with this mindset that you're aware of that. Like maybe you've been aware of, you do have certain things that have been ingrained in you from childhood or through trauma, around your concepts of money and self-worth. And maybe that is what this transformation and celebration is about. Okay. Is this Two of Cups? Okay, so it's the Justice card coming out here. I was going to ask, is this Two of Cups a soulmate? I feel that this is a soulmate that's coming through. But I don't feel that this person, this could be someone that so it's two different things I'm getting here. One, you could have someone that tries to come back from the past. And this person is, I'll just say they have some unhealthy ways regarding how they communicate, how they move. Just like how they move. There's something about it being unhealthy. I don't know if it's their their they don't mean what they say, and they don't say what they mean. That's what's wanting to come out here. And I feel like this person is going to come back or try to come back, or they're thinking about coming back. And I really feel your first mind is going to tell you to move on from this person. I just feel like you're at a place in your life where you're at peace, you're in peace, and you're really, like I said, you're really focused seriously on changing your life and going to the next level. Some people don't want to level up. They don't want to level up as far as like how they treat others or how they decide to attract money into their life or how they think about themselves. They don't want to level up. The leveling up of that would be you treat others with respect. You don't judge other people. You're kind and you respect other people. You respect yourself. You don't jump to conclusions. You allow people to speak in a conversation. You allow them to share their opinion. You know, these are things that I'm referencing when I'm saying leveling up. I'm not just talking about you going from driving an affordable car to a car that's, $50,000 or $80,000. Like, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about you as a person, your integrity, your reputation, like leveling up as a human, on the human, your human self here on the human plane when you're interacting with people. how are you leveling up? How are you, what will people say about you, when you're no longer here? Or what do people say about you when you're not in the room? How are people left to feel after an interaction with you? Thank you to the divine for this message that I'm channeling. And this person, there's something about them that they get a rise out of they get a rise. And when I say that, I mean it in every way. They get a rise, they get aroused. There's something they get out of this power pull, tug, and what's the word? Tug of war. This like tug of war with you. They're aware of your mental and spiritual strength. And some people that you meet, instead of bonding with you and progressing, using that to become a power couple that teaches other people about spirituality, or maybe you just become a power couple and the two of you are just bouncing ideas and growing with one another and learning and teaching from one another. This person gets turned and they want to use it in a lower vibratory way. This person is sort of immature. I'm trying to say it in not in an emotionally led way, but just like in an observant way. This person is immature, emotionally immature. And so, just like the way, sometimes we were as children, where if you don't get attention or your parents don't listen to you, or you're trying to get their attention, it's like, well, I'm going to, knock this over, or I'm going to yell and scream, or I'm going to, cut up, and then they'll look. And it's like, okay, but that's not the attention you wanted. Then you get in trouble or you get yelled at or whatever, just giving you an example, an analogy to how this person thinks or they process things. And it is rooted in trauma from their childhood as to why they do that. Make a long story short, you're moving on from this. You're moving on from this. And maybe this person is moving on from that. Maybe they realize you put your foot down, because the sword being down is about you making your decision. Like, this is final, this is it. I'm putting my foot down. I'm putting the sword down. Like, this is where the sword goes. The decision is made. So I feel like this is you putting the sword representing like everything in you, your spirit, to say, I no longer accept that. That's no longer good enough for me. Or I'm no longer entertaining that sort of behavior. Let me take a breath. Okay. And I feel like, yeah, this person could be moving away from that. Maybe they've spent some time thinking about how they have gone through their life sort of just like a tornado, and they don't want to do that anymore. And maybe they're deciding, they want to move on from that. Or this could just be you. So, we have the Princess of Wands and then the Eight of Wands movement. Yeah, so I think that this is more so you, Scorpio, the divine feminine, moving on, moving away, making moves. You've been manifesting, you've been bringing things down, and really making things plain, being very logical, um, reason and logic, which is the Emperor card. It's about logic and reason. Logic and reason. It's like, okay, if I'm wanting to accomplish a goal, I need to write down the steps. And yeah, the Magician card came out. So yeah, you're manifesting. This is just about you staying focused, and I really feel that's what you're doing at this time. And you know, there's going to be someone, Three of Pentacles, as I say that you will meet at the right time, and you don't have to be concerned about, yeah, King of Cups, control. You don't have to be concerned about what you may see on social media and all of these things about you need to date, you need to da 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 da. I'm gonna tell you right now, you need to take a break from social media. Okay, do that for yourself. Give yourself a limit on how much social media, TV, just media in general that you consume. Okay, just be mindful, because it is made to program your mind. You don't even realize it, but it will program your thoughts. It will program your mind. And you won't even be concerned or thinking about something, and then you spend your time watching something enough, you'll start to feel like, oh, maybe that's what I need to do. Maybe that's what I'm going to tell you something. Anything you do that's done from a place of anxiety or worry is not good. Okay, so just allow whatever's meant to be happen, and go about it with the mindset of just being open, being have discernment, but be open and allow things to unfold organically. Okay, you don't have to control it, but just allow it to flow. Any other messages here for Scorpio? Any advice? Seven of Cups, choices. So thank you, Divine Spirit. They're saying there. So it could be your spirit guides, your ancestors, and the divine. Um, and I just feel like that's being highlighted here with the darkness and the light. There's some things here that you want to be aware of when you are making decisions and choices. There's something about seven too. That's something about the number seven. When you make decisions and you are weighing your options out, don't be so hasty to make a choice. You know, allow yourself to sleep on it. Allow yourself to weigh the pros and the cons. Allow yourself to um, get all the information. You know, ask questions. Ask questions. Get all the information and find out if it's really worth your while. Find out if it's something that you really want. Find out if it's something that's really going to benefit you. You shouldn't be deceived. You shouldn't be deceived if you do that. If you're using your intuition and you're really locking in, you shouldn't be deceived. I'm sorry I kind of went over this card, but I did want to just say this King of Cups. There could be a King of Cups that comes in to somebody that may want to work with you. Doesn't have to be romantic interest. This could just be somebody that wants to work with you, and have, you know, do some business with you. The Hermit and the Energy card, yeah. there's definitely something that's going to, or that you're already working on, or you will realize it brings you a lot of, what's the word? Satisfaction. It brings you a lot of happiness. And it's something that I feel is going to dawn on you suddenly. I feel like this is always something that's been within you, a gift, a talent, a skill. And all of a sudden, I guess it's just going to dawn on you. Maybe something will come from it, and it's any other advice here. Any other advice here for Scorpio? Six of Disc, generosity. Maybe you're going to be gifted something. I feel like this is coming towards you, Scorpio. Like this, the hands are out to you. So I feel like this is something about maybe your gifts and talents are going to benefit you, or they are valuable to others. Something about something you do that brings you a lot of passion and fulfillment. Seven of Cups, choices. Again, use your discernment. You shouldn't be falling for the same. Just looking at this card. Smoke and mirrors. Yeah, you shouldn't be falling for the same stuff. Like, don't fall for the okie doke. Again, before you make a decision, think back. Like, have I been, faced with this decision or the same type of scenario in the past? And what was your choice? Think about it from that way. Also, if you have any mentors or friends or, your parents that have life experience and, they're pretty good at making decisions or choices, ask them. It's okay to ask. It's okay to get guidance or help. Hop on Google, get some more information. Don't feel so, oh my gosh, I have an opportunity, that you jump into the first thing and it's not actually something that serves you. Everything that glitters is not gold. Okay, there's some things that are not for you and there's some things that are for you. And that's why it's very important to be clear about your path and what you desire in your life and what you're manifesting, because then when certain opportunities come about, you'll say, you know what, I know that's for me, or I know I need to go to the right versus the left. All right, Scorpio, so that's the message I have for you. That's your love reading. Like I said, you may have, some other messages that come out later on today. But we'll leave that there. Like I said, I just really feel right now it's about you and moving on from things that no longer serve you, and no longer accepting the bare minimum in love, okay? So with that being said, I hope you are all doing well, and I will see you all very soon.